All right. Good morning. A lot of people have showed interest in my gardening and cooking videos or pictures and suggested I do stuff. So here's my first little video. This is there's an ant inside the daylily. Ants and daylilies hang out and live together a lot. It's super early in the morning, and I've been harvesting these daylilies. Sorry, traffic. And we wait because it's loud. I've been harvesting the daylilies, eating them and freezing them for the winter for shakes and stir fries. And they're, of course, far more pristine first thing in the morning. I mean, this is just gorgeous. But what I realized is there's no pollen on it to speak of. I'll tell you what else. This little center guy, super sweet. That's where all the good nectar is. Oftentimes when I pull these off, this one will remain. Don't just leave it there. That's your payment for picking and harvesting. So sorry, ant, you're gonna have to go. See, look, it's happened right there. If you pop it off like this, okay, so I usually try and pop it off at a shorter spot because I don't want to lose all this veg right here. That's a good amount of veg right there. But if this does happen, I pop that off and I eat it. Don't really get to the sweet till you crunch it. It's so good. So I'm going to leave these and with an attempt to come back and check them a little later to see and document on this set of 3 flowers the pollen production throughout the day. Oh yeah, so the ant's still in there. So this is one of the other things. You gotta knock the ants off, but because there's now a hole in the bottom, and they'll often be stuck right in the bottom, I just blow through it like a little blowhorn, which, if there's an ant stuck in it, makes the ant shoot out of the daylily like a man in a human, like one of them rockets. Cannon! When you shoot a guy out of a cannon. Boom, the little ants go. They're tough though. I think they can handle it. Better than we could. Sometimes you gotta knock a little poop off. It's alright though. Anyway. It's good. It's good. You should eat it. I have no idea whether you can see me or not. Oh, I wonder if there's a button to flip it around mid video. Hold on, I'm gonna check. Nope. Not seeing one. So, the thing that I like to tell people about daylilies is that they are edible, the flowers. This is what I'll confirm at this point, is the flowers. I don't want to be giving any misinformation. And though they look familiar and have a similar name, lilies, like Easter lilies and flowers from that family, are in fact poisonous. And daylilies are poisonous to dogs and cats. So don't go feeding them to your pets. I don't know if you can see this. Okay, I've left part of because the part of that stalk was still, I'm trying to focus on something tiny. I don't know if you can, maybe if I put my fingers there, it'll focus different. There's an ant still inside. Okay. An ant and what? I guess, are those seeds? You can just about see the orange starting to form on the tips, the darker tips of these. What do they call these? Petioles? Is there an R in there? I don't know. Okay. So while humans can eat them, and you got to be careful that it's a daylily and not a lily, so you don't poison yourself. And you don't feed them to your dogs and cats. They may have a tendency, both the daylilies and just garden food in general, if you like switch your diet and start eating a lot of this stuff, it may change your poop. Just a warning. Oh, I was like, why am I even coming down here? I came to check on my watering from last night. And we're watering down here for the first time. It's in these 3 beds. I actually planted them, but they just haven't been doing well because they've been so dry. And it's taken me this long to get water into them. Oh, look. It's going to close up soon. These bloom only at night. Can I zoom in? Ooh. Yeah. It sort of mucks with the focus, though, doesn't it? All right. Oh, I've got 1 flower. I might get one pea. 1 pea. I think I might. Peas were not so much of a success. I think these might be cucumbers. So if we can get this watered now. Pardon me. If we can get this watered on a regular basis, those will probably grow and do something. These are the little radishes. I've got 1 radish here. 1 radish. Just the 1. But I've been eating the leaves now. And they're furry, but they're tasty. And they're not super strong. Beautiful mullein. You can see I've already harvested a lot from it, but we're gonna let it grow again. My big old poofy comfrey pants. These guys are on their 2nd round. This one's on its 2nd round of flower. That was its 1st round of flower. I cut down 3 weeks ago. Maybe 4 max. I don't know. Beautiful. If anybody needs comfrey. My roses are starting to get hip. This is asparagus. And I love it. It gets these little seed balls, and it looks like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree. It's freaking beautiful. Supposedly got to wait for them to get red, the berries. I have not been getting red. I'm waiting for them to dry because I want to harvest the seeds. I'm going to harvest the seeds off that ornamental poppy over there. Hold on. Shh. It's the ornamental poppy. It is the most gorgeous color peach. If you actually look back in the photos, I believe I posted a picture of them. Check it on things now, because if I'm going to make it all wet. Ooh, yay! Yay, yay, yay. So, we got new flower buds. See, TT, you were asking about the basil and the snipping it, and I think I showed you, but here it is again. There's the very square stalk of the bee balm, because it's in the mint family, and it had one single flower come up and bloom, and when it's in full bloom, or after, or frankly even before probably, but I waited till it was bloomed and then I snipped it, so I had the one bloom, and then two more grew up on the side. I don't know. I think we might be getting some side bloomage. Huh. That would be cool. Okay, so check this plant out. So this one, I snipped the one from here, and it's grown two. But if you go down to the next segment, because each stalk is like a segment, and at each section, at each sectional is where the, I'm trying to get this in focus, is where the leaves come out, the stems of the leaves. I'm going to have to get all the appropriate names if I'm going to make videos for you guys. It's going to be very educational for me. Because I'm going to want to know that I'm going to want to know that I'm using the right terms for you guys. I'm just like, that bit of the flower. So it looks like I might be getting another flower bud at the second rung down. Almost like the plant knows what I plan to do with it. Which kind of makes sense. So like the plant in the wild would be out there. It would be all, I'm hanging out on my bee balm. And then Mr. Deer would come along and be like, hey, bee balm. And he would be like, nom, nom, nom. And the plant would be like, what? I need to make seeds. I need flowers because I need seeds because I need to be able to procreate. So it would just, and so maybe that, like, I've been putting the energy. You can see I've done it now already. I snipped off all the tops, and it's just thinking, hey, this might happen again. That's what I'm hoping. We're going to keep an eye on this. Junior Detective Garden version. Okay, so talking about technical stuff, let's get in there and learn something. So this is a red bee balm. Monarda digima. Monarda digima. Monarda digima. For anybody wondering and maybe not being able to read this, it's Monarda Didyma. It likes sun to partial shade, grows to a height of 24 to 36 inches, or 60 to 90 centimeters. Any information? Aromatic foliage is topped by whorls of colorful blooms. Flowers in summer. Care best in fertile, humus rich, well-drained soil. I'm very humorous this morning. When am I not? I always think I'm funny. Okay, so I need to go get a basket probably, actually, and I was going to put the water on, but I want to harvest these daylilies down here first so they don't get soggy. Plus, like I said, they're actually in such pristine condition this morning. And then afterwards, we have to decide whether there's any sense in... Oh, see now, hold up. See, Junior Detective. Is there any sense in waiting? So did those get eaten? Did they not produce? Are they a different type of flower? So these daylilies, they're little, is it a petiole? Petiole? Why were these naked of pollen? Yeah, this is even better than just learning. We have a mystery. Huh? Is errant the right word? Got errant blackberries just growing willy-nilly. They decided to grow here, and I'm letting them because I like blackberries. These are later daylilies. Which is nice. We have them sort of spread out through the season because we have all sorts of different types. So some of them are early daylilies, some of them are midsummer daylilies, some of them are clearly later daylilies. And so some of them are already completely died off and finished, while others are midway in the process, and some that are just forming and haven't come out yet. And now the hostas are coming out yet, and I've just discovered that I can eat hostas. Though, like I said, I basically shat my brains out last night. However, I'm assuming, now it's my first time eating hostas, so we're doing some investigation there as well. I want to break one of these open and see what inside. So I don't know if my reaction was due to my body not liking hostas, or it being the first time that I've had them, or being that there was something in there that I might not like. Mind you, no discomfort. Anyway, all right. Now is this is yesterday's flower. So the bugs after a season that I could tell you I most often find in the daylilies are ants, Japanese beetles later in the season, and earwigs. Yay! Nothing particularly wrong with earwigs. I just have a personal squirmishness to them due to having seen the Wrath of Khan as a small child. I'm reading a horrifying book right now called The Insect Crisis. Thought the polar bears were bad. I went to pick it up and read it this morning, and then I put it down because I decided that I didn't want to have a panic attack in the bathroom at 7 a.m. and came out in the garden instead. Oh. So, here's a flash view. Okay, so that's the gate out of the garden. It's the traffic interrupting our video. Good morning, traffic. This is the very overgrown 3 cutting beds at the top of the garden. See that goldenrod in the back? Oh, Mother never would have allowed it. Never would have allowed it. I have a much more wild technique to my gardening, shall we say, which matches me and Mom entirely. You can see the raspberries are overgrowing. I did try and offer up raspberries. Now we've got raspberries. I'm just going to have to cut them down. Well, that's the problem, is now I don't want to cut them down because they've all overgrown, which means next year they'll fruit. So I'm not sure if every single raspberry works this way, but as far as I know, the majority, if not all, of raspberries and blackberries work this way, where it's like a 2-year phase. There's a name for that. Buy something, whatever. So the first year the raspberry canes will grow. I was going to show you this. This is such a terrible example. I've been cutting all the leaves off of it for tea. But if you can imagine this bushing, your first year growth at raspberry, and there's no flowers, just growing leaves. There's no there's no flowers, there's no fruit. But second year growth will, see, now this I feel like might be first year growth. So again, like I said, maybe not all of them. I don't know, we'll get back to that. Anything I might have known is eluding me at the moment. There's a bunch of bee balm back here that I cut similar to the ones I just showed you, but they haven't, I just cut them the other day, so there's no flowers yet. No idea what knocked that off, but we might as well utilize it. And I don't know what this is. It doesn't smell, I don't smell anything. So, because this is my first year in the garden, I don't really know what everything is. I know it a lot, if not, I don't want to say most. I would say I can probably identify about half of the things in the garden. See, oregano I've been harvesting. So it's all cut down, which hopefully will give it some light now, which will allow this new growth to pop up, and we'll get a second run of oregano. I can probably get back in here and cut a little bit more, but basically the rest of this will end up going into tea. I'll throw about this much or so into a batch of tea. Half a dozen stalks. It's a big pot. So these are the quote-unquote cutting beds, which is where Mom would put any flower that she got that she didn't know the color of. So all the other beds are color coordinated, which you can sort of see over the process of the year as different things bloom. Like the bed to the left of the greenhouse there with the window and the trellis, that's the white bed, aka the Buddha bed, though the Buddha fell over and lost its head, and so it's no longer there. But Mr. Rudy's buried in the Buddha bed. So anyway, if we got a flower, that's why in this bed you've got red daylilies and yellow and orange daylilies, and so get a flower, don't know what shade it is, stick it in this bed for a year, let it bloom, and then you'll know what you have. The tomato house, which I need to actually get in and do a buttload of work in, tying these guys up. We have six larger plants that Dad got earlier in the season. Because we kept talking about tomatoes but didn't plant any. Yep. So then we got to support our local farmers, which was lovely. And then a little later, I got to support another local farmer. I went to get more basil, because apparently basil fertilizes well with tomatoes. Would you believe tomato and basil works really well together? And so this is the one basil plant that I have. Because I've tried to seed basil the last couple of years, direct seed, and it has not worked, like, at all. And mostly because I'm sure, like, I'm not watering them appropriately, because I just haven't been around enough to do it. Oh, my hand smells really nice now. Oh, it smells so nice. Oh, it's so nice. Oh. Sorry, I just need to take a moment and huff this basil. So good. What was I doing? Okay. See, I get distracted. I wanted to go get I had to go get a basket. Oh, we're raining a little, and I'm gonna put the water on. To harvest these daylilies. I gotta tell myself and remind myself, you haven't forgotten what I'm doing, but I have. But I wanted to give you a quick look. So this side bed early in the year is just filled with flowers. There's yellow. It's a yellow bed. This is technically a red bed. And a lot of things are growing where they don't really belong at this point, but because I don't necessarily know what they are, I have to wait until they flower. And also at this point, I'm letting things flower. I'm identifying what they are. I'm leaving them up so I can learn what they are and get the visuals over and over again and continue to study them and whatnot. But also the bees and all the other insects. Apparently, flies pollinate. Like, we talk about bees pollinating our fruits and vegetables and stuff, but I've never heard anybody talking about flies being a pollinator, but they're a huge pollinator. And there are some crops, like we talk about the loss of crops from the loss of bees, but I think a lot of those comments are actually inaccurate. They are accurate in the sense of those plants need pollination, but we would actually, if we just lost the bees, we'd keep some from flies, but the problem is we're also losing the flies. So, yeah. I don't know. I feel like maybe if everybody in the world, everybody got their shit together, they could do something. Get your shit together. Plant a garden. Plant a garden. Feed yourself. So yeah, red bed. And then these back here are more, those are all just like different vegetables. They're not color coordinated so much. Because I'm sure there was probably some intent as to like where all the roses went and everything. And there's the peonies. But, oh. And then this one is an orange bed with all the oranges and peaches. There's some really nice peaches in the daylilies up there. And then blues and purples up in the front bed. And I'll have to show you pictures of the house when we got it. I just found old pictures from the house and everything was just grass. And it looks so silly. So again, we're a little bit late in the season and things are dying down, but this is like, even 2 weeks ago, this was super blue. We had a lot of irises in here. So the irises. Again, like the milkweed just popped up. Mom didn't plant milkweed there, but I left it for the bees and the butterflies. Actually, to be honest, I have never seen such a variety of bugs living on a plant as I have these two particular. I was going to say, maybe they're not like this anymore. None of the other plants around it are like this. These two plants are like bug superhighways. They're just covered with all sorts of things. I wonder if you can eat that. It's my new question at every plant. I'm like, oh, can we eat this? Like, look at this. If you could eat that, that's a good amount of meat. That's a good, it's a good chunk of meat. Sorry, I just bent you. I just gave you a little sore neck, Flower. My bad. My bad. My stinging nettle. Thank you, Pammy. Thank you, Corey. Oh, and look. Look. Look at those little babies coming up. Look at those little babies coming up. look, because of the root. It was this long-ass root. And then it's going to do really good. And then I just found some more, I think, finally. But this is doing really, really well. Oh, I tried snipping the top of this to see what it would do. Because again, it's not like all plants do that. Some of them do, so I don't know what the difference is yet. But yeah, this is the stinging nettle. You can see I'm already red. That's why a lot of people don't want it, because it irritates. And I love it. I love it. I don't care. You can see me just touching the stinging nettle. Get on in there. It's just like fiberglass, but not bad for you. Okay, that's enough fucking traffic. Oh yeah, I'm planting some stuff. We'll tell you more about all this later. Okay, that's just over a half an hour video, so I guarantee you I'm not editing it. It's just going out there. You're gonna get the one political comment / environmental comment, and then hopefully I'll remember not to make them in the future, because I really just want this to be about gardening and plants and medicine and food and how pretty everything is and what lovely colors. Yeah, I'd love to see your pics and stuff, little videos of your garden if you got one. And traffic. And I will try and I'll try and remember to make more videos. All right. Today in Hilda's garden. What day is it? What day is it? It's Thursday, July 28th, 2022. All right. Bye, y'all. Thanks, Ashley.